Hello and thanks for staying with us. Nigerian Customs Service continue to generate more revenue for the government. Also on customs support, customs continue to warn importers to come forward and clear their consignment without delay. He also urged them to continue to bring documents with the consignment as approved by government. Plus, more report. I am Egeseme Etinye. Stay tuned. The customs management has continued to generate more revenue for the government. The CG of Customs told House members that his team is equal to the tax in revenue generation.
For tax evasion and economic sabotage, thus high level of this relationship must be deliberately structured in order to broaden our tax collectivity. Page 8, Mr. Chairman and distinguished senators. 2022 expected income. The service proposed a budget expenditure of 369.14 billion for the year 2022, which will be sourced from the following sources. First is the 7% cost of collection for the year 2022. We expect to reach 151.84 billion. 2, 60% CISS granted by Mr. President, we expect to reach 60.12 billion. And 2% share of the NCS batch collection, there we expect to generate 14.94 billion. And then the return income for the year 2021 to roll over to 2022 is 114.39 billion. And the share of the excess of the 2021 budget, which of course we couldn't have made any effort of spending it because it was not budgeted, as a result of the of exceeding the target, we were able to get this amount also added to our own collection. The total sum, therefore, distinguished chair, is 369.14 billion. The expected income will be utilized as follows. First, personnel cost. We expect, if everything goes well, to expend 108.85%, 85 billion, or 29.49% of the budget on personnel cost. Then overhead cost. We expect to spend 45.89 billion, or 12.43 billion of the entire budget. Capital cost. The total cost here is almost all the bulk of our money will go on capital expenditure. And here, this is one of the few budgets that is I think nationwide, that you find out that much money is put in capital instead of overhead and personnel costs. So here Mr. Chairman, by the grace of God, expect to spend 214.30 billion, which is 58.08% of the total budget of 369.04 billion. Major highlights of the proposed budget expenditure. Personnel cost for 2022. The nominal roll of 15,004 personnel and 3,200 expected recruitment of cadets are used in estimating the personnel cost of 108.85 billion, which comprises of 86.50 billion is an allocation for personnel salaries and allowances. 7.73 billion is provision for employers' contribution under the National Pension Scheme. 3.93 billion is a provision for employers' contribution to National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS.
According to him, customs is ever ready to implement measures that will help the nations generate more revenue and also to run the nation's economy.
Start with item 2 there, which is the review of the 2021 approved budget performance. Revenue performance of 2021 budget. The approved revenue target for the year 2021 stood at 1.679 trillion. The service collected a total revenue of 1.716 trillion for the period of January to December 2021. When compared to the approved revenue target of the same period, January to December 2020, the service surpassed its target by 504.34 billion, or 41.63%. The service also collected the sum of 525.06 billion as value-added tax on imports from January to December 2021, thereby bringing the total collection for the year 2021 to 2.241 trillion for the period under review. Page 3. Most importantly, the above remarkable performance was recorded amidst the following militating factors. As usual, as always, we continue to state this because they are part of the militating factors against what we believe would enhance the collection of revenue and maximizing our collection. First among them is the standing government, the deliberate trade and economic policies, monetary both and physical, such as the restriction of 43 items from accessing forex at official window. While we are not saying we're not against it, and I'm sure the wisdom behind this is good enough, but it is one of those things that has reduced the amount that we would have collected. 2, the non-functional scanners at the various customs scanning sites. This factor has adversely affected the service's ability to carry out effective examination for selective consignment, and the chairman made mention of this in his opening remarks. 3, only 2 commodities, cigarette and alcoholic beverages, were under excise control within the period under review. So we are yet to get the directive to start collecting the 10% on carbonated drink, and also we are yet to come to terms of who is going to collect the telecommunication excise. That is still under process, and it is our hope that before the end of the first quarter of this year, we will precisely get go ahead to start collecting, because every day that passes by, we are losing revenue.
The Customs Management has continued to train and retrain staff of members of the service. Recently, the Comptroller General of Customs said that the newly trained Cost 13 officers will further improve the working in the service. He was represented at the occasion by the Deputy Comptroller General of Customs in charge of Excise and Free Trade Zone in Abuja. Inside the hall, she told the Cost 13 graduates that they must continue to implement CG agenda on how the service should work effectively.
The training you have received here will be tested in so many ways. Your commitment to work, social interactions, sense of responsibility, physical fitness, as well as the quality of your work and pursuit of excellence will be measured against the standards that this prestigious college has come to be known for.
The commandant of the college has this to say.
I promise that your stay here will be exciting and life-changing. The curriculum of the course, which you have completed, is indeed very, very demanding. It is as mentally sapping as it is physically exhausting. It requires great skills in managing tight deadlines, conflicting priorities, pressures from directing staff, and indeed self-discipline. You've done well in discharging your responsibilities, and it will be said of you that you are proving yourself to be worthy in learning and character.
Some of the graduates at the course also commended members of the management for allowing them to go on training.
Better improved, I am better informed, so I definitely will make some changes in my command. You cannot come here and go out the same way you came in, it's impossible. There's operant conditioning that disabuses anything that you have learned from the outside. They disabuse that notion here and make you a complete new person.
I feel very, very excited. I'm happy. They're going to see a new person because there are a lot of things that I have realized that we have been doing some things quite different from the scheme of service, and I think with what we have acquired here, everything will change.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Upper Customs Command has again seized drugs worth over 1.3 billion naira. He warned importers to always come forward and present the right documents before clearance of their consignment. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Upper Customs Command warned importers and agents against illicit drug smuggling through the Premier Port. According to him, the 20-feet container was loaded with 150 cartons of tramadol. The importer of the consignment had concealed the drugs inside the cooking pots in an attempt to escape security checks at the port.
Manifested as 222 cartons of stainless steel hot pot. It was captured and declared as cooking appliances, measuring and checking instrument, and furnace to abate payment payment of duty and concealment. The said container was positioned, open, and jointly examined with all relevant agencies and found to contain 55 cartons of tramadol concealed in food flaxes. As you have seen here, and the method of the concealment seen here, each carton of the tramadol contained 50 rolls, and each roll contains 10 packs, and each pack contains 10 tablets. Our action of impounding this container is in line with contravention of SEMA Section 46 and 47 of Custom and Excise Management Act, C-45, Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. It is worthy to know that the fight against illicit drug abuse and trafficking is everybody's business. And the Nigerian Customs Service, under the leadership of the CGC, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali retired, is all out to support the NDLE in combating this ugly menace decisively.
He later handed over the drugs to NDLE officials on the order of the CG of Customs.
We always work together with NDLE in sharing information, collaboration, synergy to make sure that we stop this. And I want you to understand here that we work together, and the Custom is always the lead agency in combating this ugly menace. It may be possible NDLE has supply and intelligence like they normally do, and intelligence can be true or it can be false, you understand, depending on the nature of the intelligence. So last week, what we experienced is the same container, and that container has been in the port since 2020. We have been tracing that container. It has been processed, but nothing has been done on that container. Waiting for anybody to come and claim the container. Nobody has come claim the container, but when they came in, we say, okay, let's strike and seize this container. Most of these importations are not importation of recent times. Importers try their luck and see whether there's a way they can get out of this system. But unfortunately, we're at alert. Not only the Nigerian Customs Service, every other government agencies within the port are at full alert to ensure that illicit importation, not only on drugs, any other illicit importation is completely eradicated within this system.
The CGO was, the examination was jointly conducted with all relevant agencies. Customs were in attendance. The report came in as a result of a brief report sent to the chairman, which got out of the press, but is supposed to pass through the normal process because the synergy that existed has always been existing, and that is the reason why most of these seizures are coming in. That synergy will continue to be. The fact is that the proper thing has now been done. He has declared it, and it's the same consignment, and it is out of circulation. It's no more going into the public domain again. That is the beauty. We have succeeded in removing it out of circulation.
One will be importers to disease or smuggling of non-approved consignment into Nigeria. The Federal Operation Zone A has impounded 13 trucks of rice alongside expired food seasoning in the country. The acting controller one will be importers to disease from smuggling of consignment into the country. He said 9 suspects were arrested in connection with some of the seizures. The custom boss says that those engaged in the act of economic sabotage will not go unpunished. He blames some of the smugglers for importing expired drugs and products into Nigeria.
And this product expired since December 2021. And you are bringing it in 7 months after expiration. You see the desperation of smugglers? Now, it is possible for them to bring this thing in, they will do repackaging and now start sending it to the market. All suspecting Nigerians will enter market and buy it. And today, tomorrow, you start hearing people complaining of so many different ailments. It is worrisome to me because it is an avenue to deplete our population. Part of what we have as Nigerians is our population as the giant of Africa. We produce seasonings. We produce seasonings, good seasonings, certified by NAFDAC, certified by other regulatory agencies, and we've not had any problem with our seasoning here. Why will someone now go outside Nigeria and bring expired seasoning? It means this, we have to be curious about the reason for this. And that is why it pained me to my marrow that we do not have a suspect. But however, from where this was intercepted, I have already given them marching order to ensure that all vehicles coming through that place is stopped and frisked adequately.
He urged the smugglers to engage themselves with proper business transaction in the country.
There is no Nigerian family that has not been affected by either an accident caused by a substandard or used tire, skin diseases or cancers, and many more as a result of patronages they do to prohibited imports, to prohibited imported products into the country. While we collectively sympathize with those that are affected by this menace, we are also calling on patriotic citizens to cooperate with the Customs Service and other law enforcement agencies to stamp it out. You may recall that some weeks ago, Nigerians had to pay more for premium motor spirit amid scarcity. Despite the fact that the federal government has subsidized the product for local consumption, many Nigerians still pass through this hardship, partly because some unscrupulous Nigerians choose to satisfy their egoistic desires by smuggling the products into Benin Republic, some of which are along the border corridors. Notable among the seizures recorded within the period under review are 7,261 bags of 50 kg foreign parboiled rice, equivalent to 12 trucks load. 600 bags of basmati rice, 5 kg. 34,725 liters of premium motor spirits. 39 bales of used clothing. 225 pieces of used tires. 201 cartons of expired seasoning, chicken cubes. 331 cartons of frozen poultry products. 6 units of used imported cars. 2,634 cartons of slippers and shoes. 900 pairs of used shoes. And 42 units of used motorcycles. 9 suspects were arrested in connection with some of these seizures. Seizures recorded had a cumulative duty paid value of 537,479,927 naira 5 kobo. Through meticulous checks on import documents, followed with issuance of demand notices to importers, agents found to have should pay their duties, the sum of 24,957,351 naira 71 kobo was collected as revenue. This amount will have been lost to some non-compliant importers agents if not for the watchfulness and the uncompromising disposition of officers of the unit. From the foregoing, it is evident that these daredevil smugglers are unrelenting in executing their unlawful and vile businesses. We are therefore soliciting for useful and timely information from patriotic Nigerians to enable us tame smuggling. Compliant importers and agents are encouraged to sustain their compliance level as the unit and the service remain resolute at facilitating legitimate trade.
According to him, some of the seized expired seasons were imported into Nigeria with hard-earned forex. So therefore, a total of 24 million naira was recorded within a period under review. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Tinkan Island Customs Command have been speaking on the clearance of goods as approved by government. He also speaks on VIM violation at the port.
Implementation of VIM valuation service. The operational process of Nigerian Customs Service in the year under review strongly aligned with the theme for the 2022 International Customs Day, which is scaling up customs digital transformation by embracing a data culture and building a data ecosystem. This is evident through the implementation of VIM valuation service, a service that depends solely on the information stored on customs and third-party database to determine the value of all imported vehicles for the purpose of determining customs duty. I must emphasize this. We are not using benchmark values. We're using transaction values as embedded in the valuation, ACV valuation codes. Represent an increase of 60% from the 66,294,613,421 naira only, recorded in the fiscal year 2022. We commend the management of the Nigerian Ports Authority for their seamless collaboration with the command in facilitating the clearance process of export-related cargo at Tinkan Island Port Command. Trade facilitation and engagement. In the area of trade facilitation, the command continues to provide a conducive environment for trade through continuous engagement and collaboration with relevant stakeholders, regulatory agencies of government. Additionally, the dispute settlement structure of the command aligns with the provision of the import duty mechanism outlined in paragraph 8, subparagraph 8 of the import guidelines, procedure and documentation requirements, which allows an importer to take delivery of his cargo in the case of persistent dispute after securing a bank bond to cover the total duty and taxes payable on the item being disputed. We continue to express our appreciation and support and clear sense of direction from the Control General of Customs, Colonel Amir Ibrahim Ali, retired, and the management of the Nigerian Customs Service for their relentless effort towards strengthening the capacity of the service to perform its statutory responsibility in line with international best practices. We also give special recognition to the members of the press for their invaluable.
Just before the end of this week edition of the program, Customs Report, we brought you a report where the Upper Customs Command seized drugs worth 1.3 billion naira. For me, Igeseme Itinye, thanks for watching.